Hi everyone and welcome back to another Meals of the Week video. We're starting the week with a really super simple and tasty beef stew, which I'm going to cook in the slow cooker, but of course you could do it in the oven too. I've got lots of veggies here, so I've chopped up some potato with 2 baking potatoes there, 2 small red onions, 3 carrots, some frozen sweet that I had left over in the freezer from ages ago. I'm just going to use that up. And then I've got a cube of my garlic that I brought frozen. So there's 4 cloves there. The only thing with these is it's quite a big, you couldn't sort of separate that. So if you use that, that's 4 cloves. So they could maybe be doing with like 2 cloves. But anyway, 4 cloves will be fine because obviously it's quite a lot of food here. I've got a couple of beef stock cubes. I just use the supermarket own ones. If you wanted to buy some fancy sort of stock pots, you can get the red wine ones or the herb ones, whatever. You could, but I find just normal beef stock absolutely fine. And I'm just going to pop in some black pepper as well. Obviously, it's a beef stew, so I've got some diced beef here. Now, this is a 250 gram pack of meat, which I've just chopped the cubes of beef smaller so that you kind of get more pieces of smaller beef. A lot of people would say 250 grams is not enough for 4 people and would buy, you know, like the bigger 500 or 700 gram packs. Actually, looking online, the NHS guidelines now is actually that we cut down red meat from 90 grams to 70 grams for an adult and 30 grams for a child. So actually, for 2 adults and 2 children, that would be 200 grams. So I've actually got 250 grams here. So I think as long as you're bulking your dinners out with kind of veg and whatnot, it's, you know, you're still going to be full up. So that's going to be plenty for us. We're going to stick that in the slow cooker and leave that bubbling away all day, just with the beef stock, until we're ready to eat it. And then I tend to just put a little bit of beef gravy granules in to thicken it if I need to. But the key is to really not put very much water in at all when you put your stock in, because you will get a lot of water come out of the veg and the meat, and then it ends up too watery. So I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. So just start with a small amount of water, and you can always add a bit more if you need to. So yeah, I'm going to stick it all in the slow cooker, and then I'll come back and show you it when it's cooked. Okay, so just to show you, you can see there's a lot of food in there, but the water, look, is only kind of not even a quarter of the way up. So obviously as it starts to heat up, the stock and stuff will dissolve, and then you can give it another stir. But I literally just chuck all of mine in with the stock cubes crumbled in. Obviously the garlic's in there frozen. When that defrosts and the stock sort of dissolves, just give it another really good stir. And yeah, when it sort of bubbles away, you will find some water comes out of the veg. Okay, and here's our stew all plated up. So I've literally cooked it in the slow cooker on high for 5 hours, just with that little amount of water that I showed you. And then 5 minutes before I was going to dish it up, I just put a sort of tablespoon of gravy granules in and mixed it and left it, and it just sort of thickened it up. But it wasn't too watery as it was anyway. So that's my husband's and mine. And then I always just put the boys in a bowl just because it's a bit easier for them to eat. So they've got theirs in a bowl as well. And then we do sometimes have dumplings, but we do just like having some bread and butter with it to dip in as well. So I've just done a few slices of bread and butter there as well. So yeah, a really tasty one, and it's fab for this time of year when it's really cold and rainy. And like I say, the meat does stretch a long way if you cut it small and bulk out with veg. Okay, and the next of our family meals is our Friday night takeaway. I did speak a little bit in my money saving video about kind of planning in a takeaway meal to save ordering a takeaway. So we like to have pizza on a Friday night. So this is a spicy chicken pizza that I got in my Sainsbury shop, and I've just done some homemade chips in the Actor Fry. So that's mine and my husband's. And the boys have just got a deep pan pepperoni pizza, and they're just having it with the last few of the frozen crinkly chips and some sweet corn and carrot sticks as well. The next of our recipes is a KFC Zinger Burger Fakeaway. So I'm just using one chicken breast here that I've sliced in half to serve 2 people. And then I'm just going to roll it in some seasoned plain flour, some beaten egg, and then into my crushed up chili Doritos for a nice spicy crumb. And we're having ours in some seeded burger buns with shredded lettuce. And I'm just going to serve it with some air fryer wedges and some spicy beans. Hi everyone, tonight for dinner we are going to have Hunter's chicken and we're going to have it with some roasted veg. So I've got the chicken breast wrapped in bacon, which I'm going to do in the air fryer, and then when they're cooked I'll just put some barbecue sauce and some cheese on and just pop it back in for a couple of minutes. And then in the other drawer I'm going to do the veg, so I've got some sweet potato, some carrot, some red onion and some pepper, and I'm just going to put a drizzle of oil and then I'm going to season it with some of the steak seasoning and some paprika. So I will show you it when it's all plated up. Hi everyone, tonight for dinner we are having our usual Sunday roast. So I've got beef joint, I've just seasoned that in some salt and pepper and some of my steak seasoning and a little bit of my garlic granules. So I just leave that marinating. I'll seal it in the pan and then pop that in the oven. And then we're going to have it with our usual roast potatoes, carrots and broccoli, and I've got some Yorkshires in the freezer, and then obviously we'll have gravy with it as well. And then I've also just defrosted this lemon cheesecake for pudding. I bought it a while ago and we didn't end up eating it, so I thought I'd pull that out to defrost as well and have that for pudding. So I'll show you it when it's all plated up. Hi everyone, tonight for dinner we are having spaghetti pomodoro, which sounds really posh, but it's actually, I think the Italian it translates to just tomatoes. So it's basically spaghetti and a tomato sauce. But it looks really tasty. So we've got some passata, got some cherry tomatoes I'm going to cook down, some red onion, some fresh basil and some garlic. So obviously it's one of my cubes, so there's like 4 cloves there. And I'm just going to literally sort of cook this up into like a nice really fresh tomato sauce, and then just toss the spaghetti in, and then it says top with parmesan. I will probably have parmesan, the boys will probably just have a bit of normal cheese because they're not that keen on parmesan. So yeah, it's going to be really simple, a lovely fresh kind of cheap and tasty vegetarian meal. So yeah, I'll show you the sauce as I'm cooking it and then I'll show you it plated up. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this video has given you some ideas for family meals on a budget. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.